Hi everyone, welcome back to Earl Grey Books. I'm Ellie. Today we're joined with a Fletcher. And there you go, you can kind of see him, a Percy too. Don't know why I'm being blessed with two today, but I am. But today I'm here to do my update for the third quarter of my reading goals for 2022. I have my glasses again today so that I can see my laptop screen, and we're going to jump into it. So with these, what I like to do is talk about the goals, but also evaluate them, because plans change, and I don't want to stick to doing a goal or having to talk about it in every update and be like, well, I'm not doing this goal anymore because it's not relevant, or it's not something that I care about anymore. Like, it was important to me at the start of the year, but now things have changed and this is less important. So we're going to get into it. And of course, I'm also going to talk about some goals that I'm setting myself for the last quarter of the year. So let's jump in. My first big goal we talk about every time is my TBR goal. These are fogging up already. Okay, so my TBR goal was basically to have under 200 books on my TBR by the end of the year. I'm going to say it right now, this is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It is so far from happening. So I started the year with 301. I'm currently sitting on 306, but also it is my birthday in October. I already know that a couple of friends are sending me books. I have a romance event that I'm going to that I'm also getting books at. So this is going to go up, and I still would like for it to not be so high. I think I mentioned this in every single goals video that I do, or whenever I talk about TBR numbers, is that I think everyone has their own definition of what too many books on a TBR is. Some people, that's like 50. For others, that's 500. For me, 300 is around the mark where I start to run out of room. My TBR books are already triple stacked on sort of my main shelf. I have a romance shelf, a non-fiction shelf, and I'm just very much running out of room. I don't think I'm actually going to set myself too much of a goal with this one. I think that I'm just going to say that I would like to end 2022 with either equal or less than the books I started with. So 301 or under. If it's like a little bit over, that's okay, but I don't want to be looking at like 320, 350. So I'd like to be in the sort of like 300 to 310 range, let's say. Hopefully on the lower end, but yes, that's that one. My next one was my reading goal, which was 250. In June, I dropped this down to 210 because it just wasn't going to happen, and I'm actually going to drop it to 200 for this section. I'm currently on 140, and I still have a few days left of September, so I think I may get around to like 142, 143, so I'd still be a little bit behind, but yeah, I had some good months there. In July I read 19, in August I read 21. They were mostly ebooks, so they weren't counting to my TBR, but you know, I was reading things, which is good. But yes, I am still behind, so we're gonna go for 200, and we're just gonna really try to get there. The next one was my haul revisits. So I think at the start of the year I said that I would get this down to 100 from my books from 2021, and I started, well, in March I had 204. In September now I have 162. My goal was 160 for this time, and I will quite possibly still get there at by the end of this month, but 162 is where I'm at right now. I'm really proud of that, to be honest. I'm definitely not going to get down to 100, but I think that I'm still doing pretty well with it. And my goal for the rest of the year is to just get it down to 130, which is still more than I would like, but that's 10 haul revisit books a month, as well as any that I may unhaul, and I have got a whole bunch of them that I have already started, so I could probably read the 30 just from those. But yeah. Next one was my pre-2020 books. I started the year with 18, and my kind of goal was to just finish the 3 that I had started, which I have not done, but I'm now down to 12. So I think in June and March I was still on 13, and I just took one off. That I was like, you know what, this is not actually one that I'm going to read cover to cover, so I'm not going to keep it on my TBR. And I think I'm going to stick with trying to finish the 3 that I've started. Like, getting down to like 10 is a good number. Happy to do that. So and if I can finish all 3, that's 9, and we're in single digits, so I'm happy with that as well. But this is definitely one of those goals that I'm just not really that fussed about. At the start of the year, it seemed like a really important thing and that I should read all of them. But now I just, I'd still like to get to them, but some of them are books like in later series. I think I have 3 from romance series that are quite late in the series, and I'm reading them. But I'm not going to get to that book, so I'm not super fussed about this one. I'll read them when I read them. Next one was to finish / catch up on 20 series. I read 1 in June for the whole year, so I changed this to continuing series. So if I continued any book after book 1, it would count to this goal, but I would still be keeping track of the series that I've finished. So since July, which is the start of July, which is where I'm counting from, I have continued 13 series. So in some of those I read books, let's say 2 and 3, but I'm only counting 1 per series. And of those 13, 14 of them were the final book in the series. So I'm doing better with the goal that way. Yeah, I think I would like to maybe look over these and see how many series I've continued this year, and sort of maybe include that in the sort of final update for these. But I'm not going to set myself a separate goal for this one. I am just continuing to read series, and we'll just see how we go. The next goal was to my 2020 haul revisits, which my goal was to get this down to 30. So I started with 43, but there was a bit of an issue where my one list didn't match my other list, so I was reading things, but I wasn't actually making it a dent because I'd had way more than 43. So I dropped this down to 39, and again, I think I might have 1 more that I will finish by the end of September. So that's doing pretty good, and I'm going to stick with the goal of getting down to 30 by the end of the year, which I know is only like 8 or 9, but again, this goal isn't as important right now, and having 30 sounds like a good number, so that I could be working more on the 2021 haul revisits, and of course going into next year working on the 2022 ones. So there's that. And then some goals that I set myself in June, I had that I wanted to read roughly 3 2022 purchases per month, just to sort of keep on top of that, so that come to next year's haul revisits it isn't a ridiculous number. I haven't really been tracking this, honestly. It was kind of one of those goals that I was like, oh, I'm just gonna try and do this without really thinking about it. And I think I've probably been averaging about 2 or 3, so that's good, but that is not a goal that I'm particularly interested in for the rest of the year. I will still try and read. I'll still be reading the ones that I've been purchasing this year, but I'm not going to make it an actual goal of like, okay, well, I need to get this many. And then the final one I set myself, last update, was I wanted to finish all of the I Let My Friends Pick My Book Haul books. I haven't read any since. I can't remember if I had counted them last time, but I have 13 to go, and I think that might be doable. I'm not really sure. But I would love to be able to finish off, like, I've got like, I think for one of my friends I have like 1 book left over, so I could read that and finish off that vlog. But I'm just keeping an eye on these, and I'd really like to do this again in 2023 with some new friends and a few of the old friends from that picked. So I'd like to be able to get through some of these now. Okay, and then actually I lied, I had one more goal that I set myself last time, which was I wanted to do 3 more rounds of my like read my Kindle project. I've decided to drop this down to just 2, so I have 1 round going now, and I haven't been doing super well with it, but I still really want to read a few of the books, so I thought I would just extend that one to the end of sort of October, and then I would just do one from November and December rather than trying to fit a whole nother one in there. So that is the plan with that one, and I will of course talk more about that. I think it's middle of October, end of October that I have it planned at the moment, so that'll be the goal there. As for the rest of the year, I only have one other goal that I'm going to set myself, and that is to finish or unhaul my started books. So I'm going to have a video of this also in October, at the start of October, and I'm going to show you the situation. It's pretty bad. I haven't counted, but I think it's like 30 or 40 of them, so it's pretty bad. But I would, by the end of the year I'd like to basically finish or unhaul all of the books that I have started, because it's ridiculous. It's really bad, and I'd like to start 2023 with, come December, I really like to go through my shelves and reorganize everything, and also do a nice big clear out of like, okay, some of the books I do unhauls throughout the year, but is there anything here that I've just kind of put on the shelf and my feelings and thoughts have changed, or I put it there and was like, oh, I'll unhaul it later, and I haven't, and things like that. So like I said, you'll see the video of that, and you'll see the damage then. But I would like to, I have to count. I don't know if I could do all of them, but I would really love to be able to. So that's definitely one that I should be working on. But it is one that, it helps with the other goals. Like obviously it helps drop down my TBR, and it gives me more books that I've read. But it also does, the haul revisits and some series and things in there, and some purchases from this year, and a couple of my picks from I Let My Friends Read My Book hauls are in there. So it is one that would help me with all the other goals basically. So for now, that is the update. I'd love to hear how you're going with your goals, and if you are changing any of them or anything like that, would love to hear it. But for now, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you next time. Bye.